Well, today we are blessed to know the real amount of Gonçalo Ramos asking price to Manchester United. During the World Cup, when United was so much linked to him, even before he found himself scoring a hat-trick against Switzerland, we are told that the release clause was 80 million euros. But it looks like it isn't the case. The release clause is really a different amount of fee together, and I can tell you, it's astronomical. It's astronomical. Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead and really revealed to us the real asking price of Gonçalo Ramos. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? This is Rokan David, and as Erik ten Hag is continuing to look for the replacement of Harry Maguire because he's one of those people that he believes that should be leaving Manchester United in the summer is on. If at all he's granted a chance to sign Jurrien Timber, he signs him as fast as yesterday, all as early as yesterday. And Jurrien Timber himself has gone ahead and really issued a statement on whether he's willing to quit Ajax in the summer or not. And Rio Ferdinand has really taken a dig at Antony, and I want to know what you guys think about all these three stories that have been really compiled by the United Matters team and obviously presented to you by Rokan David. Not so? So smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, don't forget to subscribe. How do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner is the place to be. There is a black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time we upload a video onto our YouTube channel. Now, let's go eyes. Lots of striking options have been mentioned in the last 2-3 months as far as coming to Manchester United is concerned. We very much know that Erik ten Hag has made a midfielder and a striker a priority in the summer transfer window. Amidst United not knowing who is going to be its owner, whether the Glazers, Sir Jim Ratcliffe or Qataris, in the summer transfer window, Erik ten Hag is keeping his signals and scouts all tabs onto the players that he believes that will come into the United side and really make a huge change into the squad of United. And obviously we've been told that Erik ten Hag doesn't want to go into the preseason without a striker and a midfielder, meaning that those two players, he'll be needing them to go with them on the preseason in America. He doesn't want to experience what he had last season or last preseason when he only went with one signing, that is Terrell Malacia. That never went well in his preparation for the team of Manchester United. And obviously you understand his situation because imagine how it would have been if at all Erik ten Hag had Casemiro, Eriksson, Lisandro Martinez and Malacia, just those four in Thailand and Melbourne, Australia. I think we would have come up and started our season very well. We wouldn't even have lost those first 6 points to Brighton and Brentford. I believe we'd have gone ahead to really gather those points and have them together. Heading into the season right now, would have been having close to 56 points. You know, just how many points? Just like Arsenal has how many points? Arsenal is 14 points ahead of us, right? 14. So that means would have been having close to would have been 8 points behind Arsenal with the game in hand. That would have put us in a title race. So he doesn't want to miss out on any player. So as it stands, Gonçalo Ramos is one of those players that Erik ten Hag is obsessed about. And Gonçalo Ramos and his agent first put out this story, and I asked myself, why are they putting out this story that they are really very much annoyed with Benfica? And it was Correio de Mania, Diario Sport. They're from Portugal. They told us that Gonçalo Ramos, linked with Manchester United, is actually unhappy at Benfica, and he's irritated that the promise for a new contract wasn't fulfilled yet. You get? So Gonçalo Ramos is a player playing at Benfica in their game that saw them qualify to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, he scored a brace and he's having very many goals. And he was really having a problem with the team of Benfica, and we never knew what was the cause of all that, but it's all about the new contract. And today I've gotten to know why it really reached that level and surged to that level. His contract is expiring in 2026. That's it. And it is keeping him there until he's keeping him there for the next 3 years under the team of Benfica. And I now understand why he was unhappy with the contract situation at Benfica. This is why he was unhappy, and Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to let the cat out of the bag today. And he has told us via the United Stand that Gonçalo Ramos, linked with Manchester United, has a release clause of £120 million. So any deal will be very difficult, as we saw in January with Enzo Fernandez to move to Chelsea. So I now know the contract situation. I think Gonçalo Ramos is not agreeing with Benfica on the release clause, because it is really not giving him a wide range of options to go to. Few clubs in this world can pay 120 million euros. And I believe the only way Gonçalo Ramos can see himself leave Benfica to join a side that is really top elite into the European football tier is by him scoring very many more goals into the Champions League. If in the quarterfinals he can score more 2 goals, he will take his tally close to 7 or 8 goals, meaning that he would have put himself in a position of being looked at by very many teams. And his former teammate at Benfica, known as Darwin Núñez, did the same thing. He scored close to 8 goals in the Champions League, and obviously Liverpool had to spend close to 88 million euros on him to sign him to go to that club, and that amount of money can amount or be north of 100 million euros if at all he fulfills all the clauses that were indicated in the deal. But Liverpool made an initial fee of about 65 to 70 million euros, and if at all you are looking at signing Gonçalo Ramos, you'll know that the president of Benfica, Rui Costa, is not an easy one. You get? It was until Chelsea paid 131 million euros that they allowed the deal of Enzo Fernandez to take place. That means you won't ransom them. If you are to go in for that player, we need to go in and pay that amount of money. Let me convert that amount of money. Euros to pounds, and 120. All right. Right now it's 105 million pounds. Now, this is where I really table a question onto you, all the viewers watching in. Hurricane, like 110 million pounds called for by Tottenham Hotspur. Victor Osimhen, 133 million pounds called in by Napoli. Now we've known the asking price of Gonçalo Ramos. It's 105 million pounds. Benjamin Šeško would go for like 60-70 million pounds, and Vlahovic will go for like 80 million pounds. If you're Manchester United, who do you go in for? To me, I see this as a hinge to spend 100 million pounds plus on Gonçalo Ramos. To me, I wouldn't like us to see ourselves go north of 100 million pounds to sign a striker. I think the match we must spend on a striker is 80 million pounds. That's it. If that amount of money can't be accepted by Benfica, because 80 million pounds, that is like 100 million euros. So if we can't squeeze a deal for Gonçalo Ramos, I believe let's go in for Benjamin Šeško or Vlahovic, guys, because I don't want us to negotiate with teams that are really going to make it hard for us, because even if you go to Benfica, they'll tell you that they want 105 million pounds. They won't even take less than that. Even if you say you're having 100 million pounds, they say 105. So I think this is where we need the takeover to come in immediately, or to happen immediately. Then we find ourselves in a position of knowing who is the owner of Manchester United and what's the budget going to be at. And the reason as to why things might change, if at all the new owner comes in through, he might want to spend, because do you know that Every time new people take over the club, they spend a lot. Look at Chelsea. Tony Boyle and his consortium. Do you know how much they've spent? They've spent so far close to £700 million in a space of like 6-7 months. Meaning that even our new owner is going to come in, would like to appease us by really throwing in cash at everything. That's it. He would like to throw in cash at everything. So we might find ourselves in a position of buying Victor Osimhen or Gonçalo Ramos or Jurrien. So let's wait and see how the takeover situation is going to unfold. But Gonçalo Ramos, 120 million euros. That's his asking price, and it's a release clause. So that means if you trigger it, you sign the player, you take him. So I think that is something hard for the team of Manchester United as per now, because Ten Hag needs more players, but it will depend on the budget that you're going to be having as a team to spend in the summer. Now, there is a player that we wanted in the summer, that is Jurrien Timber, before we went in for Lisandro Martinez, and he snubbed us and said he's going to stay at Ajax, but we all knew what happened. It was Louis van Gaal who went in and really scared the player. That's it. Louis van Gaal told him that if I really go to Manchester United and don't play regularly, then you are not going to the World Cup. So Jurrien Timber said, all right, let me stay at Ajax. He even extended his contract and he stayed at Ajax for the next 3-4 years. But right now, he was asked by Ajax Live about his future at Ajax and said, you never know what crosses your path. This summer, I look at my options and make a decision. I feel good at Ajax. That's important for now. Last summer, there was interest, but I chose to stay at Ajax. So, I think he chose to stay at Ajax not because he wanted, but because he wanted to play in the World Cup. You know, such opportunities come once in a lifetime. He played the World Cup. He showcased his goods. And right now, I believe Jurrien Timber is worth like £50 million. That's it. So, he's talking about this summer looking at his options, meaning that he is really wanting to move out of Ajax and go to the next team. And I think he's regretting, because when you look at how Lisandro Martinez is playing at Manchester United, obviously he's playing very, very, very well. And he now knows that if at all he was the priority centre-back that Erik Ten Hag needed, and he's playing the second choice centre-back that he wanted, that means the first choice central defender would have come in through immediately to the side of Manchester United. So Jurrien Timber is now looking through his options to go in and see whether in the summer he'll make his move to the team where he wants to be. And there comes a man known as Grammy Bailey for the transfer 90minute.more.com. And he's telling us that one source close to Erik Ten Hag says he would take Jurrien Timber if presented the opportunity, with Timber now understood to be ready to move if the right offer is brought to him in 2023. Now, if at all you hear what Jurrien Timber said, as referred to you, as showed to you in the previous tweet, and you relate it to what Grammy Bailey is telling us, that shows you that Jurrien Timber is in need of a move away from Ajax. That if at all a right offer comes in through, Jurrien Timber is willing to cross from Ajax to the next destination. Jurrien Timber was one of United manager Erik Ten Hag's primary targets upon joining the club last summer, and there is interest, and their interest remains in the 21-year-old central defender. So that is no brainer. It's no brainer. It's not something to hide about. Erik Ten Hag is still obsessed with Jurrien Timber. Harry Maguire is one of those defenders that Erik Ten Hag wants to move away and bring in Jurrien Timber or Kim Min-jae. And these two defenders are really great. Kim Min-jae is one of the best defenders. I hope today you guys keep your tabs onto him as Napoli host Frankfurt down in Italy. You're going to see how good Kim Min-jae is. He's a very good defender that United are really interested in, and they want to bring him in and obviously offload Harry Maguire. So United sees Jurrien Timber as a perfect competitor for Rafael Varane. That's it. And Jurrien Timber is a deal. As I always told you, that for Jurrien Timber, he also plays well on the right back of Manchester United. That's why I would love him to come in through, because if Erik Ten Hag believes that he should move on Aaron Wan-Bissaka, then Jurrien Timber can come in through and play onto the right back and share that role with Diego Dallo, or even go in and play sometimes the central defense alongside Lisandro Martinez or Luke Shaw or Rafael Varane. Any of those will be fit to come in and play because he's a very good player, press resistant. I like the way he goes forward. He has a very good long range, and his football intelligence is really out of this world. He's secure with the ball, and obviously he is a great defender that every team would love to have. So teams like Liverpool are interested in him and very many others, but I think if the money is there, we can have him. But the big problem is, won't Ajax take us for ransom? Because they sold that Lisandro Martinez at £46 million. How much would they want from Jurrien Timber? When they ask like 60 or 70 million pounds for him, they might be looking at him as Matthias de Ligt, and they would be wanting close to 65 million pounds or 70 million pounds in that player. So let's wait and see how that deal will come to pass, because Erik ten Hag is interested in his former central defender at Ajax, that is Jurrien Timber. And if at all you've watched him play, he's a joy to watch. He's a joy to watch. And if at all you brought him into that team of Manchester United, you know that you've added another central defender who is confident with the ball and can build from the back as well as play as a right back for Manchester United. Now, Rio Ferdinand has really gone at Antony, and I told him, I think Antony, if he looks at his game, he will say to himself, I'm not where I want to be, and I'm not doing what I thought I was doing. Yes, he scored some important goals here and there, but if he's honest with himself, he will tell himself he needs to do more. So that is Rio Ferdinand calling for Antony and speaking for Antony, what Antony really feels in himself. I believe Antony watches his clips every after the game is done, because Ten Hag has a video analyst who really compiles clips of every player and really puts them on his mail. He goes back home and obviously watches them. So that is Erik ten Hag for you. Antony watches his clips, and I think he knows that he needs to give more to this club. You know, he's talented, but he does wrong things. Sorry, he does right things at the wrong time. You get? I think if at all Antony found himself in positions of really releasing that ball early enough, and sometimes going in for those colors and surprise his opponents, then he's going to come out into a good player. He needs to find himself in positions of not being predictable. He's too much predictable. That's it. So to me, I think he should put himself in positions of thinking hard before he really makes a decision. And elite players decide what they're going to do with the ball before they even receive that ball, because you'll know the situation that this ball is coming to me and there are two defenders coming to my side. Am I going to do a return pass, or I'm going to go on and really take them on? Those are the decisions that Antony needs to make. So your thoughts onto Gonçalo Ramos asking price to Manchester United revealed are welcome in the comment section below. Would you want United to pay 120 million euros for Gonçalo Ramos? Then secondly, Jurrien Timber to Manchester United. Do you think we should go in and get him in, as Erik ten Hag still admires him? Kim Min-jae or Jurrien Timber? Into the comment section below. And lastly, do you think Antony hasn't done enough as per now, having scored close to 7 goals and put in 1 assist this season? What are your thoughts about him? Are you in line or in unison with the former legend, so the legend of United as Rio Ferdinand, according to what he thinks about Antony? I'm welcoming all that and more in the comment section below. Rokan David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later, my lovely mates, and may the Lord bless you abundantly. Good morning.